Hey Reddit, I'm Lucas, 26, and last month, I found out my family had stolen from me. Not in a small way. Not in a borrowed money and forgot to pay it back way. I mean, they literally stole my car. And when I confronted them, they tried to gaslight me into thinking it was never mine to begin with. But the best part? I made sure they paid for it. And now they're begging me to fix everything. But I don't think I will. It started on a random Thursday morning. I was getting ready for work, drinking my coffee, scrolling through my phone. Then, I grabbed my keys, walked outside, and my car was gone. I froze, because at first, my brain didn't even process it. I actually looked around the driveway, like maybe I had parked it somewhere else. But no, it was gone. My 1969 Mustang Fastback. The car I'd spent years restoring. The car I'd worked my ass off to afford. The car that meant more to me than anything else I owned. And now, it was just gone. I immediately pulled out my phone and called my mom, because the only people who had access to my spare keys were family. She picked up on the first ring, which told me everything, because she was expecting this call. "Morning, sweetheart," she said, way too cheerful. I didn't play along. "Where's my car?" Silence. Then, she let out a small, fake-sounding sigh. "Oh, honey, your brother took it." I blinked. "Excuse me?" "Well," she continued, "he needed a car. You know how hard things have been for him. And you have another car, so I figured." "You figured?" I snapped. "You figured you'd just give away my Mustang without telling me?" Another fake sigh. "Lucas, don't be so dramatic. It's just a car." I clenched my jaw, because wow, the absolute audacity. I took a deep breath. "Tell him to bring it back. Now." She laughed, like I was being unreasonable. "Oh, sweetheart, that's not going to happen." My blood boiled. And why the hell not? Then, she dropped the line that made my stomach drop. "Because, legally, it's not even yours." I froze. "What the hell are you talking about?" She sighed. "When you first bought the Mustang, remember how I helped with the insurance? Well, we had to register it under your father's name." I felt my heart drop. No way. That couldn't be right." "You're lying," I said. "But my mom?" She just sounded smug. "Check the title, sweetheart." Then, she hung up. I raced inside, grabbed my laptop, and pulled up the registration records. And the second I saw it, I felt sick, because she was right. The Mustang wasn't registered under my name. It was under my father's, which meant, legally, I didn't own shit. And my brother had every right to keep the car, or at least, that's what they thought. But if my family thought I was just going to roll over and take it, they were about to learn just how wrong they were, because they had just started a war, and I wasn't about to lose.
I sat there, staring at the registration documents, my hands clenched into fists. This wasn't just some misunderstanding. This was theft, premeditated, planned, executed behind my back. And now, my own mother was acting like I should just accept it, like my brother was entitled to take what was mine. But here's the thing. I don't just give up. I don't just let people walk all over me. And if my family thought I was going to just let this slide, they were about to get the wake-up call of a lifetime. I took a deep breath and dialed my brother's number. He picked up after a few rings, his tone casual, like he wasn't driving my car right now. "Yo," he said. I gritted my teeth. "Where the hell is my Mustang?" He laughed, like this was funny. "Dude, chill," he said. "Mom said she told you." I clenched my fists. "Yeah, she told me you stole my car." Another laugh. "Relax, man. You've got another car. I actually need this." I could feel my blood boiling. "You need it," I snapped. "Since when? You don't even have a job." Silence. Then, "Yeah, well, it's mine now." And that was the moment I decided. I wasn't just getting my car back. I was gonna make him regret ever taking it. The next thing I did, I called my lawyer. Because while my family thought they had outsmarted me, they had forgotten one very important fact. I paid for that car. Every single dime. The purchase? Me. The restoration? Me. The insurance? Me. And the fact that it was registered under my dad's name? That didn't change the legal ownership. It just meant I needed the right approach. And the best way to do that? Hit them where it hurts the most. Legally. Within an hour, my lawyer had a plan. It was simple, ruthless, and exactly what they deserved. Step 1. File a stolen vehicle report. Because no matter what my family thought, the fact remained the Mustang was mine. And my brother? He had no proof that I had ever gifted it to him, which meant, to the law, he had committed grand theft auto. I called the police, filed the report, and within 2 hours my brother got pulled over. I know this because the second it happened, my mom called me, screaming, furious, like I was the bad guy. "Lucas, what the hell did you do?" I leaned back, feeling calm for the first time all day. "Got my stolen car reported," I said smoothly, like any responsible citizen would. "You called the cops on your own brother?" she shrieked. I smirked. "Yep. Now here's where things get even better. When the cops pulled my brother over, he had no registration, no title, nothing to prove that the car was his. And when they looked it up, it was still legally in my dad's name, which meant they impounded it. And my brother got taken in for driving a stolen vehicle, which was when my mom went into full meltdown mode. She started texting me like crazy. "Mom, how could you do this? Mom, he's your brother, Lucas. Fix this. Mom, you're being so selfish. Mom, we raised you better than this." I stared at my phone. Then, I turned it off, because I wasn't playing their game anymore. Meanwhile, my brother was begging me to drop the charges. Him. "Dude, come on, this is serious." Him. "I didn't think you'd actually call the cops." Him. "Just tell them it was a misunderstanding." Him. "I'll give the car back. Okay?" Now he wanted to return it? Now that he was in trouble? I smiled, because it was too late for that. I let him stew in county lockup for the night. Then, the next morning, I showed up at the station, not to bail him out, but to talk to the detective handling the case. And that's when I hit them with my second move, a civil lawsuit, because if my family thought stealing my car was bad, they had no idea what was coming next. See, I wasn't just filing charges against my brother. I was going after my parents too, because my mom, she had knowingly helped facilitate the theft, which made her an accomplice. And my dad, since the title was still in his name, he was legally responsible for allowing my brother to take it. Meaning, I had both of them cornered. And the second my lawyer sent them the lawsuit papers, their entire self-righteous attitude collapsed. "Mom, Lucas, please, we can talk about this." "Dad, you don't need to do this, son." "Mom, we're family, don't ruin this over a car." Oh, now it was about family? Now they wanted to talk? Where was all this concern when they were stealing from me? When they were mocking me? When they were telling me I had no right to my own damn car? Too damn bad. By the end of the week, my brother was out on bail. My mom was crying about legal fees. And my dad? He was begging me to settle. But here's the thing. I wasn't in the forgiving mood, because they had shown me exactly how little I meant to them when they thought they could just take from me without consequence. So now, they could deal with the consequences. And when I told them that, my mom finally broke down and begged, literally begged me to drop the lawsuit. But I just smiled and said, "You should have thought about that before you stole from me."
My phone was blowing up. Mom, Dad, my brother, all of them begging, all of them trying to backpedal. Because now, they realized they had fucked up. But me? I was just getting started. The lawsuit was filed. My lawyer was handling the paperwork. And my family was falling apart. My dad tried to play the "let's be reasonable" card. "Lucas," he said over the phone, his voice tired. "This has gone far enough. Just drop this nonsense, and we'll figure something out as a family." I laughed. "Figure something out?" I repeated. "You mean like how you figured out how to steal my car?" Silence. Then, a deep sigh. "You're being difficult." I smirked. "Good." Then I hung up, because I wasn't interested in their excuses. Meanwhile, my brother was freaking out. Apparently, having a felony charge on your record is bad for your future job prospects. Who would have thought? He texted me, trying to guilt trip me. "Him, dude, come on. You're ruining my life over a car." Him, "You really gonna let me get a record for this?" Him, "I'll do anything, man. Just tell me what you want." Oh, now he was willing to negotiate? After stealing my car and laughing in my face? 2. Damn. Bad. I ignored him, because at this point, I was done talking. The next move? Freezing my parents' assets. Since my lawsuit involved financial damages, my lawyer filed a motion to freeze their bank accounts until the case was settled. Meaning, they couldn't touch their money. Not for bills, not for groceries, and definitely not for my brother's legal fees. And the second the bank notified them, I got another call, this time from my mom, and she was losing her mind. "Lucas, what the hell is wrong with you?" I leaned back in my chair. "Good morning to you too, Mom." She was breathing heavy. "They froze our accounts, Lucas. We can't access anything." I smiled. "I know." She gasped. "You did this. Are you insane?" I shrugged. "Just making sure you can't pull any shady moves while this gets sorted out." "Lucas," she whispered, her voice shaky. "We can't even pay the mortgage." I tilted my head. "That sounds like a you problem." She started crying, like actual, full-blown sobbing. And for a second, I almost felt bad. Almost. But then I remembered. She didn't feel bad when she let my brother steal my car. She didn't feel bad when she tried to gaslight me into thinking it wasn't mine. She only felt bad because she was suffering now. So I stayed silent, let her cry. And when she realized I wasn't budging, she finally asked, voice small and broken, "What do you want?" And that was the moment I knew. I had won. I exhaled. "Here's what's going to happen," I said. "You're going to sign over the Mustang's title to me. Immediately. No more tricks. No more bullshit. Done," she whispered. "Next, you're going to pay for the damages to my car while my brother had it." She hesitated. Then, "Fine." And finally, I continued, "I want a written apology from all of you." That's when she snapped. "Are you serious?" I grinned. Completely. Because after everything, after all the disrespect, all the gaslighting, all the bullshit, I wanted proof that they admitted what they did. And if they really wanted me to drop the lawsuit, they do it. It took 2 days. But eventually, I got everything I wanted. The Mustang's title, transfer back to me. A check for every single penny of damages, delivered. And best of all, a handwritten apology letter from my parents and my brother. It was pathetic, filled with half-assed excuses and forced regret. But I didn't care, because now I had written proof that they admitted what they did. And that was priceless. So did I drop the lawsuit? Yes, but only after making sure they suffered. And my brother? Well, he dodged the felony charge, but his record still showed the arrest, which meant any job he applied to, they'd see it. And when he realized that, he tried calling me again, begging me to fix it, but I just blocked his number, because at the end of the day, he wasn't sorry. None of them were. They were just sorry they lost. Now, I have my Mustang back in my garage where it belongs. My family? They don't speak to me anymore. And honestly, that's fine by me, because after everything, I realized something. Some people only see you as a resource, something to take from. And when you finally fight back, they act like you're the villain. But I don't care, because this time, I fought back, and I won.
I thought that was it. I thought getting my Mustang back, forcing them to admit what they did, and making them pay for the damage would be enough. That maybe, just maybe, they'd learn their lesson and finally back off. But no, because some people don't learn. Some people double down. And my family, they were about to make the biggest mistake yet. A few weeks after everything settled, I started noticing weird things. People I barely knew, old family friends, distant relatives, suddenly texting me, asking about the Mustang, bringing up family drama, like they had any right to an opinion, telling me I was being too harsh, too cruel for what I did to my parents and my brother. And at first, I ignored it, but then I got a text from my aunt, and the second I read it, I knew exactly what was happening. "Aunt Lisa, Lucas, your mom called me crying. She's devastated about what happened. Can you please just be the bigger person?" I blinked, then laughed. Because of course my mom was running a smear campaign. She wasn't telling people she stole my car. She wasn't telling people she let my brother commit grand theft auto. She was playing the victim, trying to make me look like the ungrateful, vengeful son. And if that's how she wanted to play it, I was more than happy to return the favor. I started replying to every single person who texted me. Not with anger, not with insults, but with cold, hard facts. Me. Did she tell you she stole my car? Me. Did she mention how my brother illegally took possession of it and laughed in my face when I asked for it back? Me? Or how they tried to gaslight me into thinking it wasn't even mine? And one by one, people started going silent, because they had only heard her version. The fake, twisted version where she was the innocent mother and I was the selfish, heartless son. But the real version, the one where they committed actual crimes, that one didn't make them look so good. Then, I took it a step further, because if my mom wanted to drag our family drama into the public eye, I was going to make sure everyone knew the truth. I posted a full breakdown on Facebook. I laid out everything, how they stole my car, how they lied to me about it, how my brother got arrested because he refused to give it back. And the cherry on top, I attached a photo of the handwritten apology letter they had sent me, the one where they admitted everything. And then, I hit post. The reaction? Absolute chaos. Some people were shocked. Some people unfriended my mom immediately. And some, they commented things like, "Wait, so they actually stole your car and then tried to blame you? What kind of parents do this to their own kid? Your brother deserved to get arrested, honestly. And my mom? Oh, she lost it. Within an hour, she was calling me, texting me, furious. Mom, take that post down now. Mom, you're ruining our reputation. Mom, this is private family business. Mom, do you want us to be humiliated?" I stared at my phone and smiled, because now she was feeling exactly what I felt. Powerless, exposed. And instead of responding, I left her on read. The next day, my dad tried calling me. I answered just to see what excuse he'd try. "Lucas," he said, voice exhausted, "you've made your point, but this is too far." I leaned back in my chair. "Too far," I repeated. "Yeah, dragging the whole family into this, posting it online, you didn't have to do that." I laughed, kind of like how you didn't have to steal from me. Silence. Then, a deep sigh. "What do you want, Lucas?" I grinned. "Simple. I want you and Mom to stop lying. Stop playing the victims. And most importantly, leave me alone." And that was the moment he realized he had no leverage. Because for the first time ever, they had no way to manipulate me, no control over me, and all he could do was accept it. "Fine," he muttered. "Just take the post down, okay?" I smirked. "Nope." Then I hung up, because after everything, they didn't deserve peace. They deserved to sit in the mess they made. That was 6 months ago, and since then, my family has been radio silent. No more texts, no more calls, no more guilt trips, because they finally got the message. They weren't entitled to me. They weren't entitled to my car. And they sure as hell weren't entitled to forgiveness. They thought they could steal from me, manipulate me, and get away with it. But now they know. I don't play that game. And my Mustang? Still parked in my garage. Shinier than ever. Every time I see it, it reminds me of one thing. I won. And them? They lost everything. I thought it was over. After getting my car back, humiliating them publicly, and cutting them off, I figured my family would finally stay in their lane. That they'd learn their lesson. That they'd realize they couldn't control me anymore. But no, because some people never learn. And my family? They were about to make their final mistake. It started with an anonymous tip. Or at least that's what my lawyer called it. I was at work when I got the email. Subject, you might want to see this. Inside, a screenshot of a Craigslist listing for a 1969 Mustang Fastback. My freaking car. At first, I thought it was a coincidence. Maybe just another Mustang that looked like mine. But then I saw the pictures, the license plate, the VIN number, and that's when it hit me. My family was trying to sell my car behind my back. Again, I sat there, gripping my phone, heart pounding, because this was insane. After everything I did, after everything they lost, they were still trying to screw me over, still trying to take what was mine. But this time, They had made a critical error, because this time, they were committing felony-level fraud, and I was about to make sure they paid for it. I called my lawyer immediately. The second he saw the listing, he laughed. "Jesus Christ," he muttered. "They really don't know when to stop, do they?" I clenched my jaw. "So what do we do?" He smirked. "We let them dig their own graves. Here's how we handled it. We contacted the police. Since my car was legally registered to me, anyone trying to sell it without my authorization was committing fraud and attempted grand theft auto. We set up a sting. I had one of my lawyer's associates pretend to be an interested buyer. He messaged the seller, my father, and arranged a meetup. We let them walk straight into the trap. And oh, did they fall for it. The meeting was set for a Saturday afternoon, at a public parking lot, where my dad thought he was going to walk away with thousands of dollars in cash. Instead, he walked straight into a team of undercover officers. The second he pulled up in my car, they surrounded him. Lights, sirens, the whole damn show. And me, I was watching from a distance. And for the first time in my life, I watched my father get arrested. My mom, she showed up an hour later, screaming, crying, acting like this was some massive injustice. "Lucas, how could you do this to your own father?" I turned to her, expression cold. "Funny," I said. I was about to ask him the same thing. She stared at me, because now, she finally understood. This wasn't just about the car anymore. This was about everything. The lies, the theft, the manipulation. And now, they had finally run out of excuses. The charges? Oh, they were serious. Attempted fraud, unauthorized sale of a vehicle. And because of his previous involvement in my lawsuit, he was now a repeat offender, which meant no slap on the wrist this time, no talking his way out of it. This time, it was real. And my mom? She had no idea what to do. The next few weeks were a nightmare for them. Legal fees? Skyrocketing. Court dates? Piling up. And their reputation? Destroyed. Because once word got out that my father had been arrested for trying to sell his own son's car, people turned on them. Fast. No more family friends taking their side. No more distant relatives guilt-tripping me. Just silence. And I was finally free. My father eventually took a plea deal. Because, let's be honest, he had no case. And after months of legal battles, he was sentenced to probation, community service, and a hefty-ass fine. And my mom? Well, she never recovered from the humiliation. I heard she stopped showing up to social events. That people whispered about her behind her back. That she lost friends over this. And honestly, good. Because after everything they put me through, they finally got a taste of their own medicine. So where am I now? Still living my best life. Still driving my Mustang. And my family? We haven't spoken in over a year. And guess what? I don't miss them. Not even a little. Because some people, they aren't worth keeping around. And when they show you who they really are, believe them.